breadth, mass, force, weight, displacement, distance. As a large number of physical quantities are there. So in these quantities, some of them are scalar quantities and some of them are vector quantities. So what is a scalar quantity? A scalar quantity means physical quantities which has only magnitude but no direction. Physical quantities which have only magnitude but no direction, such quantities are called scalar quantities. For example, mass, length, time, all these quantities, etc. Not only all these quantities are scalar quantities. They need no particular direction to express these quantities. They are called scalar quantities. But when we come to these vector quantities, vector quantity will be completed only with a direction. They have magnitude and they are expressed in a particular direction also, both magnitude and direction. They are called what? Vector quantities. Now, what is the meaning of the word magnitude? Magnitude means the numerical value is called magnitude. For example, a force of 10 Newton acting towards the right side. Here, this 10 Newton is called the magnitude. Magnitude means the numerical value, the numerical number, that is magnitude. So, what? Vector quantity means which has both magnitude and direction. Physical quantities which means only magnitude, only a particular number, a mass of 10 kg, a length of 5 meter. These type of quantities are scalar quantities. A force, so example for vector quantities are weight, displacement, velocity, force. All these quantities, they are expressed in a weight always act vertically downwards, weight of an object. Displacement is the shortest distance in a particular or in a given direction. Velocity and force, all these quantities need a magnitude and direction. So such quantities are called vector quantities, and scalar quantity means the quantities which require only a magnitude. They don't want any particular direction. They are called scalar quantities. And examples for scalar quantities. Examples for scalar quantity already studied, already I studied you length, mass, time, etc. They are example for scalar quantities, and weight, displacement, velocity, force, all they are called, and there are many other quantities, all they are called vector quantities. Here you can see the examples for scalar quantities. So the scalar quantity examples given here is distance. Distance is a scalar quantity. Distance need no particular direction, and So I think you noted all these one. Definitions for scalar quantity. Only this is simple note. Like this we can study and you can explain in the whenever you write the example. The quantities which have only magnitude but no direction are called scalar quantities. Simple note I wrote on the board. You have to explain it, expand it. The quantities which has only magnitude but no direction is are called scalar quantities. Few examples of scalar quantities are length, mass, and time. Okay, what is your doubt? Leela Krishnan. Leela Krishnan, say, what is your doubt? Your voice is not audible here. Okay, let us continue. So what the quantities, what the points we studied today, I am writing here. First point what we studied today is scalars and vectors. Scalars and vectors. Scalar quantity means the quantities which have only magnitude but no direction. Vector quantities means quantities which have both magnitude and direction. And second definition in kinematics. This is the first definition in kinematics. And the second definition in kinematics is distance and displacement. Distance traveled and displacement. Suppose early morning, this point at A is my house. So morning I am going to temple. It is at B. It is around 30 meters, very near to my house. From A to B, a 30 meter I traveled. From there, I went to buy milk at C. Another 30 meter I traveled. From there, I came to my friend's house D. This is another 30 meter. So now I am at D. So this is my initial position A, my house. From A to a 30 meter I traveled to B. I reached to B. From B I went to another point or another house C. From C I came to D. And this is my first position. And this is my final, or now I am here. So here what is the total distance traveled by B? We have to calculate all these distance, that is AB plus BC plus C. That is 30 plus 30 plus 30. A to B 30 meter, B to C 30 meter, C to 3. So totally I traveled 90 meter. That is my distance. Then what is my displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance between my initial position and final position. So this distance is 25 meter. AD. Then my displacement is AD. Final initial position is A and my final position is B. So the shortest distance, we will not consider all these paths which I have traveled through. Only we see my first position and my last position, my initial position and my final position. So the distance between the initial position and the final position is called displacement. So here the displacement is AD, it is equal to 25. So this is the difference between displacement and distance. Now, how we can define distance? Distance we can say the total path described by a body. Without any direction, the total path described by a body is called distance traveled and displacement. What is displacement? We already said you. That is the shortest distance from the initial position to the final position. We need not to consider all other these things. Where I was first, where am I now? These two. The distance between the initial and this final position is called displacement. And both these are measured. The unit of distance, the entire unit of distance is meter, and displacement also meter. Distance is a scalar quantity because irrespective of the direction, whatever the direction you travel, whatever the direction you go, the total path described, the total path you travel through is called the distance. So it is a scalar quantity, while displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity because the total path described in a particular direction is called displacement. So here direction is important there. So direction is very important in displacement there. So displacement is a vector quantity. So that is the second definition what we are studying is distance and displacement. So can you say some differences between distance and displacement? Okay. So distance is the total path described without any specific direction. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final position. The shortest distance between the initial and final position. Next, distance is a scalar quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. And these are the main differences between distance and displacement. Here it is showing. Let's go to the third point. First definitions we said, scalars and vectors. Second, the most important definitions from kinematics is distance and displacement. Now, the third one is speed and velocity. Speed and velocity. Speed is defined as the rate.
Yeah. Surya has doubt.
Surya, what is your doubt? Surya.
Quantity, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please, sir.
What is the quantity of distance, sir?
Unit of distance you are asking, a quantity of distance, sir.
Quantity of distance, sir.
Distance quantity.
The distance itself is a quantity. Okay.
Sir.
Quantity of distance means I did not understand. You mean the unit in which unit?
Displacement is a vector quantity, sir. Distance is a
Okay. Distance is a scalar quantity.
yes,
That is
sir.
what your doubt, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, distance is a scalar quantity. Why distance is a scalar quantity? Because distance need no particular direction. If you go to any
Yes, sir.
direction, the total path described by you is called the distance. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Respective of the direction, if you go to north or south or left or right or whatever it is, how much you traveled, the total is called distance.
Yes, sir.
So it is a
Scalar quantity.
scalar quantity. Very good. It is a scalar quantity. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is it okay? You are
Thank you, sir.
clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let us come to the next one. What is the next one we are studying is speed and velocity. So this is in order only. These are the order what you study also wherever you go. Kinematics. These definitions are the most important one. 8th class or 9th class or 10th class or whenever you study mechanics in this we start with these definitions. Only the expression will be different.
Voice.
Only the expressions will be slightly different. Okay, speed and velocity. So speed we can define as the rate of distance. Simple definition. Speed is defined as the rate of distance. That means what is the meaning of rate of distance? Speed is equal to distance by time. Speed is equal to distance by time. How much distance you travel totally divided by the total time taken is called speed. Then what is velocity? Velocity is the rate of displacement. So velocity here we can denote V. V is equal to displacement by time. So speed is equal to distance by time. Velocity is equal to displacement by time. By time, okay? For dividing by time, simply we use the word rate. Rate of displacement. Rate of distance. For distance by time, displacement by time. Next, the units. Both are, I am writing only the MKS unit. The SI unit only we write here. Units is meter per second. Distance meter. By time per second. And displacement also measured in meter only. Because displacement is the shortest distance. Displacement is also a distance, but it is the shortest distance or the distance in a particular direction. So here also the unit is meter per second only. Both speed unit is meter per second. This is also. Since it is distance by time, it is a scalar quantity. Speed is a scalar quantity. Velocity is a vector quantity. Because displacement is there. So once more you see what are the important differences between speed and velocity. You can write the difference. Speed is equal to the rate of distance and the formula. Speed is equal to distance by time. Here velocity is equal to rate of displacement and it is equal to displacement by time. Next, both the units they have the same SI units, meter per second, meter per second. And the next important difference is what? Speed is a scalar quantity, but velocity is a vector quantity. Okay, you can note down these points.
Some are not writing. Everybody should write it.
Okay, students, it is very clear to you, I think, because I wrote the distance and all. So all of you note down this one. You can use your last year notebooks, or you can buy one new books for this one. Last year books you can use, because this is only after that, but you should show me when the school reopens, whatever we studied in the summer. Whatever we studied in the month of May, I'll check it here. All these here also you see, I am giving you short form. It is not that whenever they ask what is velocity, from the short form you can explain it. Velocity is defined as the rate of displacement. So from this one, you can clearly explain it. Complete, not necessary, like this. Speed is defined as the rate of distance. If you study these notes in this form, after that you can write in your own sentence. You don't need to say once more. Velocity is defined as the rate of displacement. Speed is defined as the rate of distance. So like this we can explain. So note down this one.
Written to. Let them write.
Okay. So right here again our next point, speed and velocity completed. First scalars and vectors. Next distance and displacement. Distance by time is speed. Displacement by time is velocity, that is speed and velocity. So we study here we can the next definition comes first scalars. Once more, what is scalar quantity? Quantities which have only magnitude but not direction. Vector quantities, quantities which have both magnitude and direction. Distance, displacement. Distance is the total path described by a body. Displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final position. Speed is the rate of distance. Velocity is the rate of displacement. And the next one is acceleration. So in 9th class we have two chapters. One is laws of motion, another one is equations of motion. To understand the topic, all these definitions are very important. Without these definitions and these words, we cannot understand the lesson motion and laws of motion. That means what is equations of motion? We have three derivations plus another definitions and all. So these basic things we should know. What is distance, displacement, what is speed, velocity, and what is acceleration. So now we study what is acceleration. Whenever there is a change in velocity, velocity increases or decreases, we say there is an acceleration. That means you imagine a train approaches a railway station and again after some time it is leaving from the railway station. So let us consider the point starting from A to B. See, it takes a time of 40 seconds. And let us imagine the velocity at A. We do not know what velocity we see from A. The velocity is 80 meter per second. And it will travel at 40 seconds and stopped. That is, it became 0 meter per second. From 80 to 0. That means stopped. The train stopped at this station, this station, and it takes 40 seconds to reach A to B. Again, it started from there after some time, and at C when we observe its velocity is again 60 meter per second. So here we can see a velocity 80 meter per second, then it reaches to 0, again it increases to 60. So in this case we say there is an acceleration. So here we consider A and B. This first velocity, the initial velocity, when we started to observe, not the velocity which is started, when we started to observe its velocity is 80. And that we will say the initial velocity. The initial velocity is here u, and it reaches there and its final velocity. Final velocity is generally denoted by the letter V. So here in this example, the initial velocity is 80 meter per second and the final velocity is 0. Always don't use any units to 0. 0 meter per second, don't say, only 0. So the velocity is 0. Now, what is the time taken for this change from 80 to 0? The time taken is 40 seconds. The time seconds. So always you express the quantities, whether it is scalar quantity or vector quantity, always you should express a quantity with the units. Without units, a quantity is 80 meter per second and the time taken is 40. Never say 40. The time taken is 40 seconds. Then let us see what is the acceleration here. The acceleration is then defined as, what is acceleration? The acceleration is defined as the rate of change in velocity. The rate of change in velocity. So already I said you the meaning of the word rate. They use this word commonly in physics. The rate means by time, per time. So now, what is acceleration? Rate of is denoted by A. Acceleration is denoted by A. And change in velocity, final velocity, full I am writing. Final velocity minus initial velocity by time, or A is equal to final velocity V minus initial velocity U by T. A is equal to V minus U by T. Acceleration is equal to final velocity minus initial velocity by T. Okay. Now, what are the units of acceleration? Velocity, meter per second by second, or meter per second square. Unit of acceleration is meter per second square, and it is a vector quantity. Acceleration is a vector quantity. Please note down it is acceleration is defined as rate of change in velocity, rate of change in velocity, and Acceleration as a formula when we write final velocity minus initial velocity by time. So A is equal to V minus U by T. So this formula, acceleration formula also I am writing here. V minus U by T. Very, very important formula. Very, very important formula. Acceleration is equal to V minus U by T. And note down it. So today, in kinematics, before concluding this class, what we studied the important points. And from tomorrow, I'll give you small problems because you know physics, numericals are also very important. 9th class and 10th class, numericals are also very important, especially from this topic. So, with based on this one, tomorrow we study small problems. What is or how to find the acceleration, velocity, and all. Today I gave you only 4 important definitions. So in this 40-minute class, what you studied is 4 important definitions. Scalars and vectors, distance and displacement, speed and velocity, and another very important one is what? Acceleration. And the formula of acceleration is V is equal to, so A is equal to V minus U by T. Only one main formula we studied. Again, we studied the speed is equal to distance by time. Velocity is also equal to displacement by time, but it is a vector quantity. We can denote like this, a vector quantity. That in another class I will explain to you. That is what? How to express vector quantities and the expression of vector quantities and the scalar quantities. So in your free time, what you have to do is take this one up and every day once read these notes. So that today's class will be, tomorrow it will be easy to understand tomorrow's lesson. So all of you.
Good morning, students. Good morning, students. Yesterday we discussed some topics regarding basic operations of integers and basic operations of decimals and everything. Yesterday we observed how to do addition of decimals, subtraction and multiplications. And in 9th class, in coming 9th class topics, surface areas and volumes, and in simplifications in many topics, students, you people will get a little bit confusion of doing decimals, multiplication and division. So today we are going to see how to simplify and how to calculate easily the decimals divisions. Okay, children, let us start the program. First, let us see division of decimal by whole number. division of decimals by whole number. How to do the division of a decimal number by the whole number? Once let us see. So these two sums is given 6.2 divided by 2, 6.2 divided by 2, 12.5 divided by 5, 12.5 divided by 5. We can do the cancellation or we can do the normal division also for getting the answer. Once let us see. First is 6.2 divided by 2. 2 3s are 6. 2 3s are 6. Point came, so write down the decimal point and carry forward 2. 2 ones are 2. So 6.2 divided by 2 gives you 3.1. 3.1. So in the same way, we can do the second example also. What is the second example? 12.5 divided by 5. 12.5 divided by 5. We can do the shortcut manner and the long division also. To 12.5 divided by 5. 12. 5 2s are 12. 5 2s are 10. 5 2s are 10. 2. Just carry on. 5. 5 5s are 25. So what we got here? We got a 2.5. 6.2 divided by 2 gives you 3.1 and 12.5 divided by 5 gives you 2.5. This is the normal method, long division method. Usually you going to do in a calculations. Okay, children, also write down and I will explain you division of decimals by 10, 100 and 1000. I mean in a different topic I will tell you now. Once write down these two questions. Okay, I think you have written. So here we have seen how to do the divisions to decimal number by the whole number. Now let us see the another topic. We are going to see division of decimal by 10, 100 and 1000. Mainly the students getting confusion for doing the decimals divisions with 10, 100 and 1000 and the decimal by decimal number they are unable to do easily and very fastly. So now let us see another topic. You have to do the division of a decimal number by 10, 100 and 1000. Once let us see examples. Six point two divided by 10. See children, here I have written some examples. No doubtedly, you people will get confusion of do these type of divisions. So now let us see how to do the divisions. Okay, first one 6.2 divided by 10. So now let us see how to solve this in a shortcut manner without doing any division. Okay, 6.2 divided by 10. In the denominator, it is there 10. 10 means how many zeros there? 10 means 1 0 there. So the decimal point moves one place to the left side. How many zeros there? Those many places the decimal point moves to left side. Okay, children. So this can be written as 6.2 divided by 10 can be written as, if you move the decimal point to left side one place, this can be written as 0.62. This can be written as 0.62. Very easily we can write the answer without doing any division, without doing any calculation. We can do that. So just we need to verify whether the denominator is having 10, 100, 1000, and how many zeros there. Those many places the decimal point moves to left side. Okay, children. So second sum, 16.35 divided by 100. 16.35 divided by 100 there. Here in the 100 two zeros there. Since it is having two zeros, the decimal point moves two places to left side. So decimal point moves two places to left side. So I have moved the decimal point two places to the left side. So these can be written as, after that there is no any value, that's why we can write that 0.1635. 0.1635. Okay. Next, third one, 745.6 divided by 1000. 745.6 divided by 1000. So if you observe that the denominator is 1000. So in the 1000, number of zeros are 3. Number of zeros are 3. Since the number of zeros are 3, you can move the decimal point to the left side. How many places you can change? 3 places. 3 zeros there. So the decimal point moves to left side by 3 places. So 1, 2, 3. 3 places the decimal point moves, and you can write that 0.7456. 0.7456. 0.7456. So next, 11.4 divided by 10. 11.4 divided by 10 there. So if you observe here in the previous sums, here also denominator is 10 there. 10, how many zeros there? 1 0. 1 0 there. That's why the decimal point moves to one place to left side. Left side. So we can write that 1.14. 1.14. Okay, students, is it clear? Next, 0.04 divided by 100. 0.04 divided by 100. If you observe the previous sums, in the integral part there are some numbers, there are some integers, there are some digits, 745, 16, 6. But whereas here in this example there is no any digit, so just 0 is there. So now let us see how to do this sum. So how many zeros there? 2 zeros. This decimal point moves 2 places to left side, but already one place there. So another place also we need to make. So now it moves 0.0004. 0.0004. 0.0004. So in this way we can write. Next, 72.5 divided by 1000 there. In the denominator we can see that the denominator is having 1000 and the 1000 is having 3 digits. So 3 digits, so that's why the decimal point moves to left side by 3 places. In the integral part, we have only 2 places. So one more place to make it 3 places. One more 0 I have written. 1, 2, 3. So the decimal point moves to left side by 3 places. 1, 2, 3. So now we can write the 0.0725. So children, I think you understood this one very easily. You can do the division. I mean, very easily you can write down the answer without doing any actual division. Just you find out the number of zeros in the denominator. Those many places the decimal point moves to the left side. Once write down these 6 examples in this concept.
എന്തിനീ ഇങ്ങോട്ടുണ്ടാക്കി
Children, by maintaining one rough notebook, you write down each and every example in our daily class, so that after reopening, the maths faculty going to check your notes. That's why. Ashish, what is your doubt? Ashish? Okay, I think you have all written. Let us go for another topic. Let us see the division of decimal by 5, 25 and 125. Suppose if you want to divide any decimal number by the following numbers, you no need to do any division. Just doing by a little multiplication, you can get the answer. Okay, children, let us see how to do such kind of sums. That kind of model. Once let us see. So children, I have written that 16.2 divided by 5. 16.2 divided by 5. 467.12 divided by 25. 16.124 divided by 125. Suppose if you face these kind of sums, definitely you will do long division method. Without doing any long division method, you cannot get the answer. But now in our session, I am going to explain you a shortcut so that easily you can get the answer by doing a small multiplication. Okay, children, let us see. 16.2 divided by 5. This is type 1, type 2, and type 3. 3 types of tricks I am going to explain you. First type, if the denominator is having only 5, okay, you just multiply with 2. If the denominator is 5, you just multiply the numerator by 2. First, 2 2s are 4. 2 2s are 4. 2 6 are 12 and 1. 2 1s are 2. 2 plus 1 3. 3. I got 324. But here this is a type 1 now. You just count the number of digits after the decimal point. You just count the number of digits after the decimal point. How many digits there? One digit there. For that one digit, you just add 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So after two decimals, after two places, you have to keep the decimal point. So decimal point. So the answer is 3.24. 3.24. 16.2 divided by 5. The answer is 3.24. Okay, children? Now let us see the second sum. Once write down this one. Okay, hope you understand. Once let me explain you. 16.2 divided by 5 there. If you do the division with 5, you just multiply with the 2. 2. 2 2s are 4. 2 6 are 12. 2 and 1. 2 1s are 2. 2 plus 1 3. I got the answer. Then the task is to keep the decimal point. See here, how many digits there after the decimal point? One digit there. One digit. This is a trick one now. Trick one means you have to add plus 1. 1 plus 1 2. So after two places, keep the decimal point. 1 2. After two places, I have kept a decimal point. Let us see the second example also, so that you can get the full clarity. Okay, children. 467.12 divided by 25. 467.12 divided by 25. This is trick 2. So you multiply with 4. You just multiply with 4. Okay. Here we have multiplied with 2. If the denominator is having 25, you just multiply with 4. Okay, children. 4 2s are 8. 4 2s are 8. 4 1s are 4. 4 7s are 28. 2. 4 6s are 24 plus 26. 4 4s are 16. 16 plus 2 18. So this is the answer 186848. But the task is to keep the decimal point. Decimal point means here after the decimal point, how many digits there? 2 digits there. 2 digits. This is trick 2. I have to add 2. 2 digits plus 2. Totally 4 digits. So after 4 digits, you have to keep the decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is 18.6848. 18.6848. 18.6848. Once again, if the denominator is there 25, you just multiply by 4. Okay, children. 4 2s are 8, 4 1s are 4, 4 7s are 28, 2, 4 6s are 24 plus 2 26. 6 to 2, 4 4s are 16 plus 2 18. Okay, here we have counted a number of digits.
Sir,
2 digits there.
sir,
Okay.
sir, once repeat the question, sir.
Question, explanation or
Yes,
question?
explanation, sir.
Explanation, okay.
Yes, sir.
467.12 divided by 25. If the
Okay, sir.
denominator is 25, you just multiply it by 4.
24. Okay, sir.
4 2s are 8.
8.
4 2s are 8.
8. Okay,
4
sir.
1s are 4.
4.
4 7s are 28. 8 to 2. 4 6s
Okay,
are
sir.
24. 24 plus
Okay, sir.
26. 6 to 2. 4 are
Okay,
16
sir.
plus 2 18.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Understand, sir.
decimals. Keeping the decimal point is Here,
Two digits, sir.
there. How many
Yes,
digits?
sir.
Two
Two
digits.
digits, sir.
This is trick number 2. So plus 2.
Yes, sir.
2 plus 2,
Plus 2.
4. 2 plus 2,
4.
4. After
4.
4 places, you have to keep the decimal point. Okay,
Decimal
children?
point. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Next, let us see the trick number 3. If any decimal number is there, you need to divide that with 125. You just simply multiply that by 8. You just multiply that by 8. 8. 8 4s are 32. 8 4s are 32.
Hello.
Sushant. Okay. 8 4s are 32. 2, 3. 8 2s are 16. 16 plus 3, 19. 8 1s are 8. 8 plus 1, 9. 8 6s are 48. 4. 8 1s are 8 plus 4, 12. 8 plus 4, 12. So here I just multiplied it by 8. So now I am going to keep the decimal point. Here after the decimal point, how many digits there? 3 digits. And this is trick number 3. So 3 means plus 3. 3 means plus 3. 3 plus 3, 6. So after 6 places, let us keep the decimal point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, so this is the answer. So 16.124 divided by 125 gives you 0.1289992. Okay, children. Now let me explain you the tricks once again. If you want to do the division of decimal number by 5, 25, and 125, if there is any 5 is there in the denominator, you multiply by 2. After the multiplication, count the number of digits and add 1 for the number of digits. I mean counting, just add 1. 1 plus 1, 2. Here, if the denominator is there 25, you just multiply by 4. 4 I have multiplied by 4. Here number of digits plus 2. You have to add the plus 2. So totally I got this one. In the same way, if the denominator is there 125, you multiply that number by 8, and for the decimal point, count the number of digits, and for number of digits write down 3 plus 3. Totally, you can write down the answer. In this way, you can do easily the such kind of numbers. You write down the 3 examples, students. Okay, children. Now let us see some more concepts of decimal numbers. See, while you are going to do the divisions of decimals, you may face these kind of numbers. See here. .2 divided by 0.02. Very easily we need to say the answer. We want to say the answer very easily, but without doing any division, we can't say the answer. But now I will explain you some tricks. With the help of the tricks, easily you can say the answer. Okay, children. Now let us see the sequence of such kind of decimal numbers once. If you find any sequence means you can say the answer. 32 by 2. 32 by 2 means 16. If you want to do any division, if you want to do the division in such kind of numbers, 32 by 0.2, you just write down 0 by counting the number of digits after the decimal point. Here, after the decimal point, we have only one digit. So keep 10 here. If you 320 by 2 gives you 160. 320 by 2 gives you 160. (32) divided by 0.02. 32 divided by 0.02. How many digits there after the decimal point? 2. So you write down 2 zeros in the numerator. Is equal to 1600. See children, I am going to explain you the shortcut way, not in a original way. Okay. 32 divided by 0.02 gives you 3200 by 2 gives 1600. Okay. Three point two divided by 0.02. Can anybody tell me the answer? 3.2 divided by 0.02. For doing such kind of numbers, first you see the difference of these two numbers. See, here are 2 digits, here 1 digit. The difference is 1. So by doing that, you can do that. Once difference is 1. So in the denominator, difference is 1. That's why you keep 0 here by 2. So gives you 160. So 3.2 by 0.02 gives you 160. Zero point 32 divided by 0.2. 0.32 divided by 0.2. So 32 divisible by 2 16 times. 1.6. Because here 2 digits and in the denominator is 1 digit. 2 digits minus 1 digit. 1 digit after it is better to keep the decimal point. Here 0.64 divided by 0.2. 64 by 2 means 32. 32. In the numerator is more number of digits there. 2 digits minus 1 digit. So 1. 6.4 by 0.02. 6.4 by 0.02. 64 by 2 means 32. But in the denominator, more decimal places there. I mean, after the decimal point, more digits there. So 2 minus 1, 3. If the denominator contains more digits, you need to give 1 0. How many? Here 2 digits. Here 1 digit. 2 minus 1, 1. The difference is 1 now. That's why I have kept 1 0. Let us see a few more examples. (25) 2.5 by 5. 2.5 by 5. 0.5. Because in the numerator there is one decimal point, that's why I have kept 0.5. See here, 32 divided by 0.16. 32 divided by 0.16. In the denominator, 2 places there. So you just keep 2 zeros in the numerator. 16 twos are, 32. It gives you 200. What is the answer of 64 divided by 0.8? 64 divided by 0.8. In the decimal place, one digit there in the denominator. So you keep 10 in the numerator. 640 by 8 gives you 80. 640 by 8 gives you 80. Okay, children, once write down. I will explain later. Okay. Let us see few more examples basing on the such kind of placements, children. So, children, let us see here 0.32 by 0.2. So, in the numerator is having more number of decimal places, 2 places and 1 place. The difference is 1. So, after the answer, you have to keep the decimal point after 1 digit. So, 32 by 2 means 16. 16. So, here 2 places and in the denominator 1 place. The difference is 1. So you keep 1 after 1 digit, you have to keep the decimal point. So here, if you observe 0.32 and 0.02 in the numerator and in the denominator, in both cases, the number of places are same. So you can remove the decimal point, and 32 by 2 gives 16. 32 by 2 gives you 16. 0.32 by 0.002. In the first example, I have written that number of places are more in the numerator, but here number of places are more in the denominator. If the denominator contains more number of places, then you have to balance the numerator by zeros. See here, 32 by 2 gives you 16. What next? Here 3 places and here 2 places. The difference is 1. For 1, you have to keep 0 because the denominator is having more places now. That's why you have to keep 0 here. 0. So 0.32 by 0.002 gives you 160. Students, here these kind of sums you can do easily without doing any actual calculation. So here 0.32 divided by 0.0002. If you observe here, the denominator is containing more places than the numerator. So 32 by 2, we know that 16 is the answer. Then what next? Here 4 places Here 2. The difference is 2. Since the denominator is containing more places, you just need to keep 2 zeros. 0.32 by 0.16. In the numerator and denominator, decimal is balanced. That's why you can remove the decimal point. Just write down 2. Number of places are more in the numerator. More in the numerator. 3 places, 2 places. 3 minus 2, 1. So after one digit, you have to keep the decimal point. 32 by 16 means 2. I mean 0.2. In this way, you can do the decimals division very easily without doing any actual calculations. Children, you can write down and do practice well. I hope you enjoy the class. Thank you.